So hi everyone, welcome to BetterBound Quest, and this is hosted by Sean and Mickey. I would like to let you know why we're doing this, and so I'm gonna start a question asking Sean, what gets you up to speed in terms of like passion and wanting to do this podcast? I mean, I know you already run this other podcast with your wife, and what is all this about?
Okay, thank you, Nikki. So for me, before we started this podcast, I have a podcast with my wife. Before coming back to Taiwan 2 years ago, we were in Dallas, Texas, in America, and there was my wife. She's a YouTuber in Dallas, Texas. A lot of time when we do editing and other podcasts, it takes a long time. I was at an event, and at this event, I saw influencers from all over Dallas. And what I saw was amazing. It was 2 years ago, and they were able to create content right at the spot. Um, just before they started eating and everything, I could see after they took a couple shot of photos, I see it. Everything was uploaded to their platform, and it was blog, video, everything. It was just within a short amount of time. And I thought to myself, how is this possible? So I started doing lots of research. Then I realized back then there was a thing called AI writer. So it's possible that they probably already used some kind of template, probably did a bit of research, and they automate the process. So because of that, I've been looking into AI ever since.
Amazing, amazing. And as for myself, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I started a couple company, exited a few. About last year, I was thinking about, wow, what is all this buzzword about AI? So I was looking around in town where I'm at. We're both at located in Taiwan at the moment, and I was looking into this class. It says, hey, there is an AI for business applications and operations. I was like, great. Let me take a sniff into what it's about. And that's sort of where I met Sean and learned that he's totally amazing because he spent a couple years dwelling into learning all the nuance and detail into all facets of AI, what it can do for you and I and the audience out there. You know, without any shame, I asked Sean's like, "Hey, could I get some free class from you?" And he kindly took me in. And believe it or not, I drove to his apartment around 10 p.m. and I left around 1:30 a.m. It actually shook my world and opened a rabbit hole to something just totally amazed. And it totally transformed how I think about business, how I think about my operation, and think about all these other things that I could do to some of the mentees as a mentor or consultant for some of the companies, clientele of mine, how I can help them with all this new learned, knowledge that I bestow from Sean. After a while, I say, man, this cannot be the best hidden secret around. Like it just cannot be kept, right? So it's doing a disservice to everyone, especially you, all the listeners out there. And so we thought about, okay, and we're gonna show that you can also learn this and implement right away. So we're not about talking about all this easy busy of like here's a little tool, here's a little button. Like we think about, okay, here's this actual scenario and task and problem you're gonna be hitting. Here's how we're thinking about tackling it, and here's our couple of tools pieced together. So at the end of the day, you'll know how to use it exactly. All right, and hopefully we'll leave you a better than you found yourself after this show.
And thank you, Mickey. What I realized is since 2 years ago, coming back to Taiwan, and there's all these ChatGPT AI boom. While I have gone to many classes and many courses, spent a lot of money, what I realized is a lot of these courses that were either too advanced or somehow they're interesting, but I don't know how to apply that personally. And many people or many classmates that have been with me, I'm not too sure whether they know what they have learned in the class. So what I want to do is hopefully make a difference that once you finish our podcast or finish watching this video, you can apply some of the things, either the tools or the technique that we use, and to help your work or your life, or somehow get deeper into AI is what I hope to achieve as well.
Yeah, excellent. And so I think one of the first things I would like to ask you to share, since I would say you're my, AI sensei, right? You're the guy who brought me into this world of wonders. And so what is the top 3 news for this week that you want to share?
Top news right now for us for today
Yes.
is a thing called Omnigen. So OMNIGEN. It's a mixed model for generation image. So let's say, for example, you see us, Mickey and Sean, right now in the photo. What this tool could do is we could take this image, this screenshot, put it inside the tool and say, have a two-shot photo of Mickey and Sean by using the image right now we have, and or have us posing, giving each other a hug, and yeah, that's the
Whoa,
latest
whoa,
trend
whoa,
I saw.
whoa.
That
Whoa, sorry to cut you off there. But do you mean that if I put like Elon Musk photo next to me, then it's gonna be able to
yes,
generate us like buddy hugging in a photo?
yeah, yeah.
Oh
That
my
that is
goodness.
something that does worry me a bit, but that is the new model right now. I saw. I was
Wow.
testing around this morning as well.
Wow, let me find Lisa from Blackpink, alright? I'm gonna alright, help me set that up,
Yeah.
Sean, please.
It's pretty easy, and it's both fascinating, at the same time I am a little bit worried about how people could abuse this as well. Unfortunately, I don't think there's a way to not like to prevent people not to abuse it, because these things are so fast, and I wish I have an answer for that. But that's news number one for that. And the second news I would say is a lot of people they come up to me and be like, "Hey, I have a Word document that's 100 pages. I just don't have that much time. How do I, make it easier for myself to read through these documents?" At least for me, I use it for almost half a year by now. But it's called Notebook LM by Google. And what you could do is you could take a 100-page document, throw it in there, and it's going to summarize it for you through bullet point and tag all the keywords and the detail, so you can quickly get your work done. The latest testing that I've used, I realized there is some errors here and there, but again, I emphasize this to all my students is that AI will not give you the final answer in one click. You always have to double check and make sure that you know what you're looking for and make sure that it's accurate. Because at the end, you're the one who's taking responsibility. AI is not going to be responsible for you.
Right. So it sounds like this is amazing for someone who is in college, for instance. Example, they have a textbook that's 100 page long or a couple 100 page long, and they need to get into it, get ready for their exams, and just to learn it on the go. So this will be the tool to use basically.
I have a friend that has some trouble. Um, I won't disclose what happened, but he got a document, summoning him and kind of saying that there's some dispute for his business practice, and it was a couple 100 pages. So what I did was put that document inside Notebook and basically summarize it, so it's easier to read. Whether or not he can win this court case, that's to be unknown, but it's much easier to read through the document
I
with
see.
this.
I see. So it can help you digest something really too advanced. It puts you in that specific industry domain know-how literacy basically. It puts you in the know, like explain to you like a 10-year-old basically.
Right. Exactly. You could do that, and you can compare. Let's say you have Plan A as something you want to start a business, or Plan B maybe it's that's on the opposite side, arguing against you. You can put two paper together, both 100 pages, and come up with a solution using that method as well.
Excellent. So what will be the last surprise for the news for today?
Last surprise, I would say it's a tool called Recraft. So this tool, what's really amazing is it has most people for those who doesn't know how AI images works, there are three, I would say, top models that's most people know. One is Midjourney. Every designer I know of, they will use Midjourney to generate some kind of image. Another one is within the ChatGPT DALL-E. And the third one is called Stable Diffusion, open source or it's other company use it to moderate it. And Reclap, I would say, is probably fall under the Stable Diffusion family. And what you could do is they have an infinite canvas, and it's really easy. For my niece who is currently 6 year old, she could take a photo of a T-shirt and apply that T-shirt with a new design, and it will make mock-up right away. You could be a designer before you have to crop the photo out and design at least 10 steps for someone who knows Photoshop. But now it really is click on one photo, click on the white t-shirt or a cup, whatever, and get your design. And you, as you can see, just throwing the photo into here, and we'll just paste perfectly onto the image and do a mock-up. So that's a new function within this AI tool called Recraft. Another thing within the Recraft is that you could use this. Let's say you have an image of an anime cute character using this cute cat image. You could take this cat, throw it into Refract, and create a dog with a similar drawing style. It takes so much time to reiterate and do training or draw other things. So even if, let's say, you have no background design, it definitely would help if you have a background design. But without it, you can still do a mock-up for yourself, or at least display your idea right away.
Awesome. This is the perfect tool for me to quickly get something that's relatable to them so that I maybe get the job done.
Yeah, and one last feature within, there's a lot of feature within it, but it's because it's infinite canvas, right?
Mm.
So for someone who's doing a storyboard or need to make a customer journey, it's perfect because you can have all your assets in there and have it rearranged in the way that you want.
Right.
Within the same program. You don't have to switch back and forth.
Wow, wow. So personally I use Miro to build out all this, user journeys, UI, UX, etc., everything on there. But it's similar, or you could do something like that, except it's AI power. So that way you could really you have different nodes or different touch point or different journeys, journey A versus journey C, and you can combine them and create some variations to quickly validate, hey, is this the direction that I want to go? So it's way faster in terms of brainstorming, or let's say a bunch of people, you're brain dumping ideas for to create images for a quick validation. I think that's totally amazing.
Yeah, I find it amazing as well. But not to overload our listener, these are the three tools that I will talk about.
Okay, so there we go for this week history, and we'll include the links in the down below so you can look into them. All right, Sean, great. So now this is the cool part. I am super stoked and interested about the recraft you just mentioned. Do you mind for today, as if I am someone who's working in a company, I need to pitch internally or I need to pitch externally, right? But my problem is I don't have digital assets. I don't know how to create these images. How do I do that? So could you guide us through the recap for today?
Yeah, for sure. So if you come over here, it's recraft.ai.
Mm-hmm.
And as for here, let's say you have a mock-up that you should do. You come over here, there's all the tutorial over here. So as you can see, all you have to do is come here, click on it, and just click on this thing called mockup. Let it load a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and oh, there it is.
Oh wow, what?
Yeah.
Probably takes a
So
little processing time.
yeah. I mean, kind of makes sense.
Huh. I
As you
see.
can see, your T-shirts.
Yeah, it is wrapping around the thing.
Yes. So you can let's say if you have a brand, you have a T-shirt, you could just use this, take this image, click on here, do mock-up, and have the image ready, throw it in, and we'll be ready.